artwork on the, I didn't know about the different.
Yeah, so that's the different Torah covers, and then here's, this was pieces of the reports.
Right. Oh, so you guys like put together to.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean,
But I really enjoyed that.
Thank you.
That was very small.
No, I have to do it.
Yeah.
Like you treat it like the redheaded stepchild. Well, it's a Torah, but it's not really a Torah.
Yeah, it's not Christian, but it's the oldest one we have. It is the oldest one we have. It is from the 19th century. Romania. Well, they're mostly from Romania.
So you think that they bought them a lot at one time?
I think
that
so.
would make sense.
I think so.
Like Synagogue going out of, we got to shut it down. You guys want these.
Right, exactly. It's got to be. But it's really nobody knew. None of the elders knew.
So you kind of didn't say it, but it just sounded like a new Torah these days, like $100,000.
Yeah, you can bring in 40 or 50 back,
But they have to. Is it the paper and
well, the labor is what makes it cost so much. Right? It takes a guy out here to do it.
I've seen the videos on YouTube like those chairs and how they do that. The little lines did.
Jason, nice to see you.
Thank you.
It was really just uncanny when Mom called like as I was writing the
Wow. Yeah.
She knows better, like that I'm going to be here, but she's still,
Well, then she called my cousin is Jewish, and I think she kind of talked her down a little bit, and then I shared what you sent me, so I think she's okay. I saw her text her as soon as I was done.
It's just, no, it's good. Stephen, hi. Elsa, hi. Elsa. I can make that one. See, now, one of the differences that demonstrate critical thinking rather than just how much so? Do you have any college grades? Do you have any ability to compromise? Do you have any
I'm not sure when she can do it, what she can do it, what the requirements are, so we'll talk after that.
Oh, for sure, but not in the grades.
Uh-oh. Trouble now.
Yeah, you're in trouble now.
It was not real well.
Yeah, no, that's not bad.
Yeah,
We
you're
talked about it so long ago.
right.
I didn't want to say that.
No, you're absolutely right.
I just said this is what's.
Right. Yeah, I think we talked about it at lunch last week.
Yeah. Yeah.
My phone has no line.
I don't know what the percentage is.
So do we have a Yortzeit name on here too?
They
That I'm
want to
Miriam.
so that find out they don't.
Miriam, but not Berman. Yes, Miriam Berman Schneider. It's under Schneider.
That's the one.
Yep.
So
Okay.
right now
I was looking. I don't see Berman, but
Oh,
just look a little further, and we got it.
so, well, it's been rough.
She was bought from it for. This is a food donation. There are no bins downstairs either. Do you know where these go?
We're not taking them anymore, we're
All
done.
right.
Oh,
Bring
you're not
it
doing
back.
it anymore?
Okay,
No, it ends with Sukkot.
Oh,
all right, well, we'll sit in front, yeah, we'll take it back.
She would have been
Oh.
bat mitzvah
I thought
65.
it said this before.
Or Simchas Torah, but that was still last weekend.
Yeah, okay.
I emailed you. I don't know if you saw the email. On the homepage, there's a video. There's no
Oh, I saw.
sound.
Yeah, that's on purpose.
Oh, that's on
Yeah,
purpose?
yeah, that's on purpose.
Really?
Yeah, that's the style now.
Okay.
That's the style?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you put this in?
It's a moving picture.
for me?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ben.
So there's no, could we keep a food
Hmm?
collection going all year?
You know, it's hard on Joe, so
Oh,
I can't
okay.
say that like for sure.
Yeah, there's just,
Shabbat shalom.
yeah, the turkey
Did you
drive.
ever get the
Turkey
baby?
is only money.
No.
Okay, okay, well then we still have an opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi.
So-
Hi, yeah.
Related?
No, Zach's from, living in San Francisco.
So Susan, no food donations.
Oh, right, sorry, no.
Thanks.
We didn't.
We only do it in the high holy days, but you can donate money, for Thanksgiving,
Okay.
Hopefully we'll have that.
and depending on my energy level, sometimes I do it.
There's no going to
Okay.
Yeah.
So no more food donations.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So we'll give them to a
Right.
No,
local.
but you can use, as again, you can,
What?
you can wait a couple of weeks and the grocery stores will have bins
Oh,
in
absolutely.
the grocery stores in the lobbies.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
But they're actually, usually they're asking for money now too.
They did. I did some.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, don't know, but they did it. And then, you was gonna remind us of 14 tomorrow.
Uh,
Shalom, Beth. Shalom.
tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sent
I can definitely do that unless
the
it's.
they sent
Weird
you.
day.
Um,
That might have been a good thing.
Probably nothing, but.
It was actually, because there were some good things.
Yeah.
So what's going on in Israel? Because it's like, I'm getting emails from both sides now, it seems.
Yeah, so let me just say Shabbat Shalom to start off. Shabbat Shalom to everyone. Thank you for being here. It's not necessarily easy to come out on a night like tonight. There's a lot of fear, and you know I understand why many people would stay home. You probably saw that there's extra security tonight, and that is specifically because of the call for jihad today. But we're here. I'm mostly of the school, without being an idiot, that we like to live our lives and not let terror win in that way. This has limits too, but that's why we're here. I will be talking a little bit about Israel tonight, and I will be doing it as per usual through letters found in the files, actually, from Temple Beth Abraham. All right, we're going to begin with Yedid Nefesh on page 1 about the additional soul on Shabbat. I've never needed it more. The world has never needed it more. Although there is no Shabbat in Israel, really. I mean, they're technically celebrating it, of course, but those who can. But many are in shelters. There's nothing peaceful about it at all. And just think for a moment about what you were doing last Friday night and what you were thinking, and it's just mind-blowing.
Yeah.
This week was a year. All right, page 1. Yedid nefesh avarachaman, Yedid nefesh avarachaman, Mishol Avdecha, El Ritzonecha, Mishol let's go to Or Zarua Latzadik, light is sown for the righteous.
What page?
On page 8. Or Zarua Latzadik, Hu Yishre Lev Simcha. Or Zarua Latzadik, Hu Yishre Lev Simcha. Or Zarua Latzadik, Hu Yishre Lev Simcha. Hu Yishre Lev Simcha. Or Zarua Latzadik, Hu Yishre Lev Simcha. Hu Yishre Lev Simcha. Page 9. Mizmor shiru l'Adonai shir chadash ki niflaot asa Hoshia lo yamino u'uzro ha'kodsho ay 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 Yeshuato le'elei hagoyim ki tzidkato zachar chesdo ve'emunato le'beit Yisrael Baruch afsei haaretz et Yeshua Eloheinu Ariu l'Adonai kol haaretz Yitzku v'ranenu v'zameru Zamru l'Adonai v'chinor v'chinor v'kol zimra v'chatzot trompet v'shofar Ariu l'Itherelech Adonai Yiram hayam u'lo'o Tevel v'yosh v'ha'am Ne'arot yimcha u'cha Yachar ariu yiradenu Mipnei Adonai kiva Lishbot ha'aretz Yishbot te'be'eret Ve'ami be'esharim Yanai nai 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 Yanai nai 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 Yanai nai 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 Yanai nai nai Page 13. He's more than Tommy, Adon Adonai Benin, Avul Adonai, Kavod Baos, Ay Ay Ay, Avul Adonai, Ke'evot Shelo Yishtachavul Adonai, V'Adonai Hagodi, page 15. Old school too. Bottom of 17. Yamin Usmo Tirosi En Adonai Tarisi Aliani Ben Parsi Ben Ismecha Ben Ahila Lechadoti Lechadoti Likakala Ben Ishamai Kabela Rise and face the entrance. Oh, even Shalom, Teretala, Gam Besimcha, Zuvetola, Tov Emune, Am Segula. Oh, Ikala, oh, Ikala. Say to any mourners in our midst on that Kom Yinachem Etchem B'Tok Shara B'Lei Tzion V'Yerushalayim. May God comfort you with all the mourners of Zion and Jerusalem. We may be seated. Page 19. Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat Tov Le'odo Le'Adonai U'Lezamer L'Shimcha Elyon Lezamer L'Shimcha Elyon Le'Hagid B'Boker V'Asecha Ve'emunat Ha'Baleon Alei Asur Ve'alei Einavel Alei Gayom Ve'Kinon Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat We continue on our own, page 19 and 20. Tzaddik Tamar Yifrach Ka'erez Balanon Yizkeh Shetulim Bevei Karonat Rod Eloheinu Yafrihu Oh Yenun B'Sei Vavesh Adonai al Zitazar, Aftikon Tevel Baltimore. Kizacha me'at b'ramata, nasu nerot Adonai, nasu nerot kolam, yisu nerot okyam. Mikol mayim, mayim rabim adirim, mishpareyam, adir b'maro, Adonai. Briefly for the Baruch Hu, formal call to prayer. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai Mevorach Leolam Va'ed. You may be seated. Baruch Adonai Le'elam Ha'olam Asher Bivaro Ma'ariv Aravim. Yom V'layla Kol Mipnei Choshech V'choshech Mipnei Or V'rium Mevi Layla Mavdil Ben Yom U'Ben Layla Adonai Tzvaot Shemo El Chai V'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'Aravim Aravim. Page 24. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahaveta Amcha Ahaveta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpat Page 25. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu ha'dvarim ha'ele asher aruchim etzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta b'ham v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'lechtecha b'derech u'shoklecha u'b'kumecha u'sharta le'olam b'decha ve'hayu etotafo b'neinecha u'taftam al b'sod b'decha u'b'nisha continue on our own. Pages 27 through 21. Tizkuru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim lechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem emet Adonai Elohechem emet. Tobratzon du alehem, Moshe v'nei Yisrael chamisha rabba siyapcha rabba, v'emru chulam. Yihi chamocha, va'elim Adonai, yihi chamocha, nedar v'kodesh, Torah tehilot, o sefer, Torah tehilot. Sukkot Shlomecha, Baruch Atah Adonai, Al Parei Sukkot Shalom Aleinu, Val Kol Amo Yisrael, Ve'al Yerushalayim.
Amen.
Please rise for the Shamru. Well, let's actually say the ending blessing together that we just sang in Hebrew. Let's say it in English, the top of 34. We'll do that whole page. It's our prayer for Israel tonight, rather than doing the standard one in the book. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Blessed are you, O Adonai. Spread the shelter of peace over us, over all the people of Israel, and over Jerusalem. Which Evie Luskin will lead us in. I know, I should have warned you. But she's very capable. And maybe very embarrassed too, but still very capable.
Yikadol v'yikra shemei rabba.
Amen.
Madi v'rach v'rutei v'yamlich malchutei.
V'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei b'chol Beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, u'bizman karev.
V'meru.
Amen. Eishmei rabba mevorach.
Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yapa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithatar v'yithale v'yithalal shemedi kudisha le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata
Tushbechata v'nechemata damiram be'alma.
v'meru.
Private Amidah, pages 37 through 48. we view this as ancient and traditional, but this is from the 1968, which maybe to some of you is ancient and traditional, but is the 1968 Israel Song Contest, this melody. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu, Le'ach Kol Yisrael, Le'imru, Imeru, Amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Le'ach Kol Yisrael. Matbea Tefillah. Paul, would you like to lead us on page 49?
ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי, ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו, אשר ברא אלוהים, אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק, ואלוהי יעקב, ואלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל, ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, קונה שמיים וארץ. מגן אבות בדברו, המחיי מתים במאמרו, האל הקדוש שאין כמוהו, המניח לעמו ביום שבת קודשו, כי בם רצה להניח להם, כי בם רצה להניח להם, לפניו נעמוד ביראה ופחד, ונודע לשמו בכל יום תמיד, מעין הברכות. אל ההודעות אדון השלום, מקדש השבת ומברך שביעי, ומניח בקדושה על מי דושני עונג, זכר למעשה בראשית. אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, רצה במנוחתנו, קדשנו במצוותיך, ותן חלקנו בתורתך. סבנו מטובך, ושמחנו בישועתך, וטהר ליבנו לעובדך באמת. והנחילנו, אדוני אלוהינו באהבה ורצון, שבת קודשך, וינוחו בישראל מקדשי שמך, ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת. קדשית גדל ויקדש שמי רבה, ויאמר דברה חירותי, וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון ובימיכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בעגלה בזמן קריב יאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ליומיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי לקודשה, לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחת ונחמת דמירן בעלמא וימרו. אמן. תתקבל צלות הון וברד ההון דכל ישראל, קדם והון דיגשמיא וימרו. אמן. לשלום רב אמין שמיא וחיים, עלינו ועל כל ישראל וימרו. אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל וימרו. אמן.
Thank you. So, for those who are new, we do a little history these days on Friday nights. I take letters from files of the past to find out what was going on at various times in our history, mostly in the 60s and 70s, because that's where most of these files are from, the ones that we still have. This is a letter from Ronald Barani, who appears to be the head of some sort of Israel committee that they had at the time. He's writing to the executive director, Dear Jerry. I hope the enclosed, in July 19th, 1969. Dear Jerry, I hope the enclosed note will satisfy the need for a covering letter to the pamphlet you gave me. You may alter it as you wish. I would also appreciate if you would send me 2 or 3 extra copies so I can hand them out to members of my committee who are not members of the temple. The enclosed pamphlet contains some very perceptive statements about American foreign policy in the Middle East, and we strongly urge you to read it. Having read it, you must make your voices heard. Your voices must be heard in conversations with your friends, in letters to newspapers, and in letters to the president and your elected representatives. For we must all work to counter the effects of Arab propaganda, which has become increasingly effective in swaying American public opinion. So he's obviously very concerned, and what you're already seeing happening after a slaughter, a pogrom, whatever you want to call it, continues to happen. You'll see we've seen some of the most violent anti-Semitic rallies, in decades. And this is while Israel still has some victimization going on. When the inevitable war really heats up, it's going to get much, much worse. So I'm not sure if this was the pamphlet or not, but it was in the same file. I imagine these, I didn't write whose files they came from, I just have their names, probably from Barani's file, who was a very fervent Zionist who was here. And this is nothing, you've probably seen lots of stuff just like this, but this is called An Open Letter to the World, which I'm going to read excerpts from. It's both dated and yet not at all. Dear world, I understand that you are upset over us here in Israel. Indeed, it appears you are quite upset, even angry, outraged. Indeed, every few years you seem to become upset over us. Today is the brutal repression of the Palestinians. Yesterday it was Lebanon. Before that it was the bombing of the nuclear reactor in Baghdad, and the Yom Kippur War, and the Sinai campaign. It appears that Jews who have triumphed and who therefore live upset you most extraordinarily. People love dead Jews, right? Yeah. Of course, dear world, long before there was an Israel, we the Jewish people upset you. We upset a German people who elected a Hitler, and we upset an Austrian people who cheered his entry into Vienna, and we upset a whole slew of Slavic nations, Poles, Slovaks, Lithuanians, Ukrainians, Russians, Hungarians, Romanians, and then he goes all the way, at least all the way back to Martin Luther. And it goes on. I'll pick up here. Alas, dear world, it appears that you are hard to please. Having left you in your pogroms and inquisitions and crusades and holocausts, having taken our leave of the general world to live alone in our little state, we continue to upset you. You are upset that we repressed the Palestinians. You are deeply angered over the fact that we do not give up the lands of 1967, which are clearly the obstacle to peace in the Middle East. Moscow is upset. Washington is upset. That's not true today at this moment, as you've heard some of the most pro-Israel speeches from the American government ever. The radical Arabs are upset, and the gentle Egyptian moderates are upset. Europe is upset, as is Asia, and of course Africa, and down under, and up there. The Jews are repressive and oppressive and obsessive. And the Palestinians, the poor Palestinians, and the world, dear world, you are upset. Well, dear world, consider the reaction of a normal Jew from Israel. In 1920 and 1921 and 1929, there were no territories of 1967 to impede peace between Jews and Arabs. Indeed, there was no Jewish state to upset anybody. Nevertheless, the same oppressed and repressed Palestinians slaughtered tens of Jews in Jerusalem, Jaffa, Sfat, and Hebron. 67 Jews, indeed, were slaughtered in one day in Hebron in 1929, which seems like such a small number. The Palestinians who today kill Jews with explosives and firebombs and stones, and today we'd substitute Hamas there, when they had all the territories they now demand be given them for their state attempted to drive the Jewish state into the sea. The same hate, the same cry of Itbach al-Yahid, massacre the Jew, that we hear and see today, were seen and heard then. The same people, the same dream, destroy Israel. What they failed to do yesterday, they dream of today. So it's, the more things change, the more they remain the same. This was from 1969. All right. Now, I'm going to change tunes for a second, and I have 3 pieces of good news that I want to share with you, because who couldn't use some good news? Yeah. First, regarding response to Israel, besides the government speeches, although you're seeing responses all over the map. I got personal calls this week from the Catholic Diocese, Our Lady of Lourdes Catholic Church, which is just down the street next to Chabad, from Lakeshore Baptist Church, which is on Lakeshore, very close to here, from Piedmont Community Church, and from several members, the bishop and the pastor of First AME, who are insisting on coming tomorrow to our service and offering a prayer on our behalf. They'll probably also come with a bunch of letters and cards, is my guess, because this is just who they are and what they do. So there are a lot of people, they may not have the exact same views that we have in the situation, but they know we're hurting and they are there for us. So sometimes people are not, these people are. We need to point that out. That is good news. A second piece of good news. We got this thank you letter. Dear TBA, thank you so much for planning such an awesome Simchat Torah. Me and my friends had an amazing night. It was the best. The DJ was so good, and not to mention the candy bar and drinks. I want to give big thanks to everyone who made this happen. Thank you. And there's a picture of a Torah with the Hebrew word Beit Sefer. What there isn't on it, however, is a name. Okay, but we did figure it out. The second choice, our second guess. So it was Samara Kamen, so who's a 4th grader. And
so sweet.
That's
so sweet. It was very.
And the reason it was actually figured out, Rachel guessed, because I asked. She said it might have been that girl, maybe a 4th grader. She's got, who came. She went into the microphone at the end of the night and said, "This was the best night ever." Okay, so.
That's so cute.
All right. Good news number 3. 3rd grade girl came up to me afterward, and not after Simchat Torah, after like religious school, the prayer section, we do a little mini service. She said, "Can I take home a siddur?" So, well, you get one in 5th grade, but I really want one now. And then this is a trick she clearly uses all the time. The total puppy dog eyes. Look at me. What am I going to say no to a 3rd grade kid who wants to bring home a siddur? So, of course, she brought home a siddur. So I just wanted to share a little good news with you tonight as well.
That's nice. Thanks.
Good stuff. All right, please rise for the Kiddush, page 55. I'll leave this one. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'rantzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'alvahu ratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'ma'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehillah l'mikrayei kodesh zeher l'tzion Mitzrayim kivanu chaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh Hashamat. Amen. And if you are near a child or someone else you're comfortable enough blessing, your child, that is. Okay. No, it's just like, don't everyone go to the one kid who's here. Okay. And we say, Yisimech Elohim, Kasar, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, Yisimcha Elohim, Kefraim, Menashe, Yivarech Adonai, V'yishmerecha, Aaron Adonai, Panav Elecha, V'yuneka, Yisrael Adonai, Panav Elecha, V'yasemrecha Shalom. May God bless you and keep you. May God's face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May God lift the divine face toward you and grant you peace. Amen. 57. Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, l'tekeru l'yoser breishi, shelo asanu k'mei haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpat l'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, velo aleinu k'chol amonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishachavim u'modim, lifnei melech, malchei hamachim, hakadosh baruch hu, she'erunot shamayim ve'yosef haaretz, u'moshe yikaro b'shamayim mima'al, u'shrinatu zo, be'govei meromim, hu Eloheinu, Eloheinu, efes zulato, kakatu, v'torato, v'yadat hayom, v'hasherotam, elevavecha, ki Adonai hu Elohim, b'shamayim mima'al, v'ya'aretz mitzvah, Eino, Eino. Kakatu b'toratecha Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, v'ne'emar Adonai, l'melech al kol haaretz, v'yomahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. May be seated. Matt, we'll see you tomorrow. Gonna be a great day. On this Shabbat, we lovingly recall the memory of our departed relatives and friends whose yortzites we observe during the coming week. Thinking especially today of Edwin Ames, Aaron Belkin, Evelyn Hepps Krishner, Beth Latore, Ruth Eskin, Ira Michael Feltman, Gerald Friedkin, Sam Garfinkel, Emil Goodman, Alan Green, Louis Herskovitz, Alice Klein, Maurice Clevens, Morris Cuff, Anita Levine Litwack, Dorothy Lutz, Mike Marshak, Samuel Platoff, Siegfried Sanders, Simon Sanders, Miriam Berman Schneiderman, Dave Seaver, Jeanette Somers, Jeanette Bain Stern, Morris Treebwasser, Sidney Tuckman, Dr. Amiram Ur, Ann Youssef, Harry Winchell, Ben W. Wissott. In recent days, we remember Arlene Miller, the mother of Peter Miller. I'm going to read a few names also of those who were killed in Israel. The Kedem family, Tamar, a community activist, and Yonatan, a kibbutz manager, along with their 6-year-old daughters, Shachar and Arbel, and their son Omer, aged 4, executed by terrorists at the Nir Oz kibbutz near the Gaza border. Deborah Shachar Troen, Matthias, and Shlomi Matthias were fatally shot in the safe room of their home while protecting their 16-year-old son, Rotem. At the moment of her death, Deborah was on the phone with her father, retired Brandeis professor Ilan Troen. Rotem is recovering from injuries. Itai and Hadar Berdichevsky, both 30, were killed in their home in Kibbutz Kfar Aza near the Gaza border. Their 10-month-old twins were later found alone and alive in the shelter where their parents had hidden them. I'm wearing a talit that I got on Moshav Shuva, which is also right by the Gaza border. It's just east of some of the ones that we're reading about. We cannot seem to find out what happened there, if anything happened there. I did send a message to the Talit maker and have not heard back. The memories of all of them are with us. We ask all those who are in mourning or observing Yorkshire as well as anyone else who wishes to rise from the mourner's Kaddish. Page 61. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah v'alma divrach yerutei v'yamlik malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayed echol beit Yisrael v'agalah v'zman kariv v'imru Yehei shemei Rabbah v'vorach le'olam olomei omaya Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yitpahar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei nekudishah b'richu le'elam mikol birchata v'shirata Tushkachata v'nechemata, Damiran ve'alma v'imru, Yehei shlama rabba v'yishmaya, V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Osei shalom v'imruman, Uyasei shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. May the memory of the people you've come to say Kaddish for be a blessing to you always, and let us say, Amen. A couple of announcements. We have services tomorrow at 9:30. A lot of it is being, there's a lot of Mal Pacheco in it. He is getting his Hebrew name tomorrow, and it's very exciting. He'll actually be giving the drosh too, but I will still be saying a few words because of the Israel situation. There's also Mahjong after services tomorrow, and there's Men's Club Poker on Thursday night, October 19th, and on Sunday, in between, October 15th, besides there's Adult Ed in the morning, When Bad Things Happen to Good People, with Nitzia Shaked in the morning here in the chapel.
Yep, on Zoom.
Oh, on Zoom only, sorry, thank you. And NCSY and Youth Gathering from 6 p.m. A whole bunch of youth groups together we're hosting here from 6 to 8. It'll be in the start in the sanctuary, but it's for teens and their parents.
Oh, nice.
But we have all these youngish people tonight as well, which is exciting. So we're going to introduce some people. First of all, we have some Burmans who are here they grew up here, Shelley and Michael. They're here for Yortzeit. Now, I just met Mitchell tonight, who also grew up here, and this is first time here in a long time, right? So since the 70s. And your wife's name again is? Ava. Okay, so great to meet you both. Andre has not been here in a long time, so welcome back. We also have Aaliyah and Kyle, who were in one of my classes a couple years ago, and the one where COVID stopped it in the middle, and we reconnected with them. They moved away. They're back. Awesome to have them here. Susanna, right? Susanna, yeah, is back and comes intermittently. By the way, so May, these are all numbers you're supposed to collect. Not that I should be. Anyway, tell us your name again.
Oh, my name is Leslie.
Leslie, you were here once as well, right?
I've been here
Okay, intermittently also. So great, welcome back.
mutual friends.
We have mutual friends. We'll figure out who those are in a second.
Near Gorn, and we
Oh, awesome, yeah. And so Nira Gorn, who grew up at the congregation as well, but during my time here. But she was first of all, she was an adult from birth, this person. But anyway, but she was like a senior in high school when I got here. She babysat our kids, absolutely. You bet.
Basketball.
And we also, we have Hunter, who has come intermittently and just had a baby, Mazel Tov, like maybe 4 or 5 months ago? 8 months. 8 months ago. Okay. Great, and brought his friend, who they spent a year in Israel together, and your name is Zach, right?
Yep.
All right, so great to have you all here. So all kinds, everyone else is, regular enough. If you don't know them, just introduce yourself to them. So, anyway, 2 quick closing songs, the second of which will be Hatikva. The first one, it's called Noladati La Shalom. I was born to peace. I was born to the melodies. I was born to the songs of this land, but peace, it's not here yet. May it come, may it arrive, may it appear. And what's going to happen is there's going to be, as you know, there's going to be a war. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be brutal. But always, please try to keep in mind, and with the letter I read, they're fighting war so they can live in peace. That's what this song really means, in a way. And I don't have the words for it anywhere, so my apologies. ללשון וגם למקום, למעט ולהמון, שיושיטם בשלום. אני נולדתי לשלום שרק יגיע, אני נולדתי לשלום שרק יבוא, אני נולדתי לשלום שרק יופיע, אני רוצה להיות כבר בו. אני נולדתי לשלום שרק יגיע, אני נולדתי לשלום שרק יבוא, אני נולדתי לשלום שרק יופיע, אני רוצה להיות כבר בו. By the great Uzi Hietman. And Hatikva, please rise, page 65. Kolo baleva penima, nefesh Yehudi homiya, ulfatei Mizrach kadima, ayin letzion tzofia, olo avdati vatenu, Atikva bat shot ha'chaim, niyotam chofshi be'artzeinu, Eretz Zion Yerushalayim, niyotam chofshi be'artzeinu, Eretz Zion Yerushalayim. Shabbat Shalom. Challah in the back.